Hello, and this is the All Around Natural Beauty. And thank you for showing up. And this is the All right. I appreciate you for coming out to listen to this topic that I just kind of was made aware of just yesterday when this whole decision was, I had heard about it, but I didn't really hear about it. I probably heard about it when it first happened back almost a year to date, November 21st, 2021, where this person, Daryl Brooks, went on a rampage and murdered 6 people and injured, dozens other. Oh, all because he, was upset with a woman. And it's been a lot of stuff talk lately about um, just the whole this rage and all this negative energy from men towards women and this new awareness of it and the whole gaslighting and the crazy making behavior to keep women feeling like this stuff isn't happening. This is like pure proof right here. And the sad thing is that we can't just um, say that it's the men, because the women who support this whole thought process, like in the case here, Daryl Brooks, his mother and his grandmother, his 80-year-old grandmother, spoke out, in support of this man. So today's, I'm bringing this out as kind of a public safety announcement to women especially, but men and women too, because there are some wicked women out there that, condone this type of behavior. Because, I'm going to probably talk about it a little bit more later, but I saw that the mother had bailed Daryl Brooks out of jail just, right prior to him flipping out and going on a rampage, because he has been entitled and they have been making excuses for him for who knows how long, because he injured the girlfriend and he's blaming her. So it's just the same pattern when these men who abuse blame the women who they abuse. And it's 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 just eye-opening. Even though I wasn't even trying to look for it, it's like the proof is just all over. It feels like the movie The Truman Show, just waking up to see how we have been brainwashed and conditioned as a society, male and female, to make excuses for this behavior, this brutish, violent behavior. Like everywhere I look, I get online and I see YouTube videos and people doing stories on. There was a one lady who was killed by a coworker because she said no. It's like it's just horrible, and these kind of things are going on, and women aren't being safe, because if the women were being protected when Daryl Brooks' girlfriend, baby mama, went to the police, asking for help. This man had broke her leg and punched her. I mean, attacked her. And his mother, bailed him out of jail for him to be available to crash his car into and kill 6 people and injure dozens others. I mean, just let that sink in. And this is kind of stuff that happening over and over. The only reason why we know about it is because he crashed and killed 6 people. But prior to that, he's been attacking this woman and doing all these violent things and been getting away with it. And it's and they make excuses. and women, we're guilty of making excuses for our sons and stuff. If I'm gonna play the video, you're gonna hear the mother, and it's just I it's like I'm waking up to this whole thing. And first, let me just explain too, right? So I'm learning all this, coming aware to this whole division that they're trying to, make us believe that there's this division, and women, we're just being abused, and these kind of things are happening, and nobody is relating the whole fact that this man did this because of the woman. He was angry at that woman. And I hope people are seeing it. So anyway, I know I'm just passionate about it because I feel like these are programmed responses for us to feel and say these things, like the mother. And the other thing I really want to say this too is it's just to prove that it's not a man and woman thing, because there are some women that have this negative energy also, because like I said, the mother and the grandmother never, the mother, y'all won't hear it. I'm gonna let y'all hear it and stuff. Okay, so let's go over there, and I want to start. Let me share my screen, and then we'll go over there. And I'm gonna play. This happened yesterday. He was sentenced yesterday to like thousands of years. I know it was a lot. I don't remember. I think it was 1,200 or something like that. But anyway, they really fixed everything. For those of you who don't know, let me just kind of post you up. This man, Darrell Brooks, he yeah, let me just do that really quick. Post y'all up and tell you who Darrell Brooks is. And what did I do with my phones? Oh, I hear it. All right, so Darrell Brooks. Anyway, he is a man, and he was having some domestic issues. He's got a history of violence. He's a typical male, had a history of violence and domestic violence. So he'd been putting hands on the baby mama, and had previously, prior to this, was arrested for viciously wounding and attacking her. To which his mother bailed him out of jail, right? So it shows me this history of when you have like the narcissistic mother, like I was saying before, y'all don't probably remember because I didn't say it on this video, on this channel, but these narcissistic daddy's girls and mothers boys, those mama boys and daddy's girls. This is that type of dynamics when that mother, will, she know her son, beat this lady up, and the mother, her granddaughter, and all that stuff, and they upheld him and made excuses for him, bailed him out of jail so he can rage even harder, because now he feels more entitled because he hasn't been made to be responsible or held accountable for any of his actions. And so, and hence we have this. So let me just go ahead and get this going here. I'm gonna share the screen and share the screen. Let me watch this video. This was from yesterday at his sentencing. These were his people. Is this the one? Is he lost? Here we go. His mother and his grandmother.
I'd like to tell the court and thank you for being with us today.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon. I have two things I would like to tell. One is a written statement, Your Honor, and then I have a one I would like to read after my statement, if that's permissible. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Mental illness affects everyone. It just
All right, I'm just going to stop right there because notice she hasn't acknowledged any of the victims or anything like that. It's all about me, my, right? So that's clue number one. I'm just going to just go ahead.
destroys lives, families, and hurts society. For far too long, it's been a dirty little secret in families that no one wants to talk about. Mental illness is the elephant in the room that so many pretend it's not there. People,
All right, so I reason why I want to stop right there is because I want to let y'all see how when you have these narcissistic mothers and they have these psychopathic sons that they know have been violent and done all these wicked things towards people, especially women, to make excuses. She never showed any emotion about the people. 6 people were killed and dozens others injured and traumatized. And those of us who saw the news and all that stuff were traumatized. Never acknowledged nothing about that. Starts off immediately with the blame shifting by saying this mental illness. Obviously, we all have to know that he wasn't mentally ill. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been allowed to defend himself. Can't be mentally ill and be his own counsel. For y'all saw that he was acting as his own lawyer. He exercised that right to do that. So obviously that lets us know that he wasn't mentally ill. But see how they blame shifted it, and that was through a woman. So that's why I'm saying that we can't just say we have to stay away from the men. Yes, we do need to protect ourselves from these men, but we also have to be aware of these women who are accomplices. Like they're in cahoots with them, and actually, because I really put a lot of responsibility on the mother, and then we're going to see the grandmother too, for that, because the lady's face is all banged up, a broken leg, and those charges. Why would you bail him out? And especially you're sitting up here talking about mental illness, but you gonna bail him out, and you're saying he's mentally ill. You bailed out a mentally ill person so he can come here and commit this heinous act on society. Okay, so when are y'all gonna start taking some accountability? So that's why I'm just wanted to stop it right there, because that lets you see right there that they, and I'm saying they because didn't care about the people. None of them took responsibility for what happened. Then want to blame society and say it's our fault. So that's the other reason why I'm saying that it can't just be men. We can't just blame the men. We have to be aware of the women like that too. And unfortunately, it's a lot of us, because we have been programmed to believe that the man is the head and that we are the second. You know what I mean? So, and I know, because I was guilty of that too. And look at how backwards everything is. It's against nature. So let's go ahead and get back into this, and let's see what Moms is talking about again. And
people who suffer from it are often shunned by families and friends, rejected by society, and made fun of, the subject of bad jokes, ridiculed, and judged on YouTube, podcasts, Facebook, and other media posts.
Everything that she is saying is in defense to her son. In his defense, she has said nothing about none of the victims. She's sitting up here saying that we need to take all this stuff into consideration to feel sorry for her son.
Used in campaign ads, disrespected, stripped of their dignity. No one cares. No one sees their pain or hears their cries and pleas for help. They are the forgotten ones.
Yep, you forgot too, because what did you do? Y'all talking about y'all knew about it and nobody did nothing. Y'all, shame on you. Shame on you. If you got somebody in your family with a true mental illness and you just are letting them out there, letting your dog loose on society, shame on you. That blood should be on your hand too.
And viewed by many of not having a place in society. It is no fault of their own that they have become ill.
It's not my fault.
To change from the person we all knew. Once viewed as fun, loving, and kind, are now the outcasts of society.
All right, let's just stop right there again because, and let's do this. Right there, I just want to stop because see how she's painting the picture again. Like we've already established that this dude is not mentally ill because he wouldn't have been able to host himself on this in the trial. Okay, so let's just stop there. But she keeps trying to paint this picture, and the whole time, all she's doing is defending him, not. And at the same time, you're showing how if you knew this, then why would y'all just let them out like that? If you guys are saying that society needs to do better, aren't you part of society? When are you going to be responsible for what you did? And just here we go. Let's go ahead and put it back and continue.
Society. We say what's wrong with society? They're idiots, unfit. They need to be disposed of, thrown out with the rest of the trash. They serve no purpose. The same, my brothers.
All right, so she's saying, this whole, I'm not going to bore y'all with all of what she's saying and stuff like that too. Because here, you can see it here if you want to watch the whole video, but let's just kind of skip ahead here. Get to the good part.
In their cases, or many of their cases, treatment, therapy, medication, hospitals and institutions that specialize in helping those who suffer with mental illness.
Mm-hmm. And this is where she's trying to let us know this is what he needs as opposed to the punishment that he's about to receive. He needs treatment in a hospital with specialized, she's telling us what is needed here.
Need to be offered.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe these places can help those who suffer become mentally well.
Wow. Now, y'all do know there's no cure for mental illness, right? So, again, I'm just showing y'all how this is all part of the thing, because if you see other videos where the girlfriend is talking, nobody is really counting that. Really, I'm grateful that she was spared to be, so we can see where the true thing was, because if he had been dealt with like he should have been in the past, he wouldn't have been out and available to be able to cause all this havoc. He wouldn't have been able to do the rampage. She did everything she was supposed to do. She reported to the police. He was arrested. But what happened? A woman, we cutting our own throats. We're not even safe among sisterhood. Why would you do that? Because that was not the first time he put hands on her. She's already in the shelter trying to get away from him. And women, and that's sad when it's the mothers, but that goes back to that narcissistic mother that do that stuff. And you'll hear when y'all listen to that video, she says things like, my son, my son. She's sitting up there just defending for her son, taking no responsibility that, yes, that was your son. That was your contribution to society. Why didn't you get your son help? You knew your son was a nut. Why didn't you do something about it? But he's not the only one. We just know about it because he was allowed to get even bigger. I'm sure if you look back on it, and he blamed the woman. He was mad because he was mad at her. So he blamed her for that's why he did all this. And that's what these psychopaths and narcissists do. They blame you. That's why you can't stay. And she did everything right. She tried to get away and she was in her shelter and all that stuff, but it just shows how the odds are stacked against the women, and something needs to be done. We need to have a safe place for this to exist, because that was horrible. I mean, how, scary to know that this person is just out. And then, I'm proud of her for doing her duty to get on that stand and testify, and how brave for him to still, try to, it was just horrible. I can go on for hours on this, but these are the kind of things that women are facing and stuff like that. So there's got to be something, and something has to be done. Like, we've got to wake up, and women need to come together, because if we could come together, these kind of things couldn't exist. They couldn't exist. They'd have to stop. They'd have to cease to exist, because it's not natural. It's not natural. We're just going through this program response. Like I said, I'm going to go back and show how the grandmother did the same thing in my grandson. And that's all they were concerned about. At least she did. But it's y'all need to watch it, but it just sounded so, like you can tell that they have probably been making excuses and rescuing him, and, fixing his mess, cleaning up his mess for his whole life. For his whole life, grandma and mama been cleaning up his mess, and you could see that they felt entitled to that, because of, the grandmother was saying, I'm a minister and I'm this and that, and, actually shaming people who said that they couldn't forgive him. She started projecting curses out at. Let me just go on and show y'all what the grandma said. This really made me upset when she said this. It was horrible. She started putting out curses on the people who chose not to forgive him for crashing into a crowd of parade goers and killing 6 people and injuring dozens others. For the people who couldn't find it in their hearts to forgive that, she was shaming them and putting curses on them for something bad to happen to them for not having forgiveness in their heart. How awful. How awful. But then it goes again to show how we have been programmed to protect these men from boys, and we make excuses for them, and they don't have to do anything. And women are out here, we're busting our butts, taking care of everything, and getting kicked around and stuff, and nobody is protecting us. He shouldn't have been allowed to be out. And for $1,000 too? Yeah, let's see what grandma is talking about again. All right, so I'm going to fast forward it here. Let me see. Maybe she...
I believe...
Oh, and at the end, she...
By providing resources to individuals so they can get the help they need.
All right, so look at it. It's already minutes. Mama's still talking. And I promise y'all, she said nothing. And look at him with this fake ass expression. Let me go back there.
Right lawn.
Look, he blinking hard, trying to show some tears. Ain't nothing coming down.
Find a flight that's the right
Oops,
price.
I'm sorry,
Airlines,
y'all.
stops,
We got
cabin
4,
class, and more.
3,
Search Kayak
2,
now.
and 1. Oh, they're gonna get me with another commercial.
But a good team member
Okay,
shouldn't
here
actually.
we go. Skip.
Cage bird stands on the grave of dreams.
Wow, yeah. She defiled that poem, the cage bird sing, and gonna reflect it on this. Oh my goodness.
Oh, shouts on the nightmare scream.
Mm.
Their wings are clipped. Their feet are
And look how
tied.
she's talking to us.
They open.
Fuck you. This fake ass.
So
This
that's
fake
why
ass
both
expression.
women turned
Look at
away,
there.
but I'm
Dry.
actually watching
Not a
them.
tear. He's trying to look the part like.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Then I'll turn next to
Yeah,
Mary Edwards.
look at him
If you
trying
want
to look
turn your
innocent.
camera on
He
and
really
breathe, and
believes
then
he's going to
move
get
forward
out of
to
this.
Yes, ma'am.
That's how these narcs are. They're ultra convinced, like he thinks he put on a brilliant case. And now that I get moms and grandma to come up here and say stuff about me, oh man. Yeah.
Good afternoon.
And I should say for the record that obviously Dawn Woods was the first speaker, and I have Mary Edwards. If you can let me know who's next to you, please.
Oh, there's no one next to me at the moment. Thank you.
Look at grandma. Automatically,
Oh,
she
no.
being
I need to know
defiant.
who's in the room with you because I saw them.
That's my husband.
Okay.
Grandma got
Okay,
caught in
he's
a
not
lie.
in the room at the moment.
All right.
No one there at
He's
the
not
moment.
here.
I just wanted to know I saw
problem
someone.
Come on, ain't
with him
nobody
being
there at
here?
the moment.
No, he can be there since I know who it is.
I hope
It
y'all was
just-
able to hear that because
my
I don't know if I had it
husband's
on
here.
mute or not.
Will he be speaking or just you?
No,
This may not be the right one. Let me see.
no, he's not speaking.
I'm not sure if y'all was able to hear that because I might have been on the wrong screen. But the significance of that is that grandma, obviously there was someone that was visible to the judge in this here shot, right? I'm not sure if y'all can see my mouse there. So the judge, declares for her to announce the person there because, everything's still official. She got to make sure it's known to the record. She's putting it on the record. And then she immediately goes, there's no one here at the moment. But already showing her entitlement. Like if you listen to how she said it, like she's, there in her mind, she probably thinks that, she is so special that they should let her grandson off just at her word alone. You've got my word, Your Honor. My grandson will not do it again. Please just slap him on his wrist. It's just really sad. This is let me go back on here. Go on, Granny.
All right, go ahead. Thank you for being here today. And again, if I look like I'm looking to the side, it's because that's where the monitor that I can see you is located. So go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. For the record, my name is Dr. Mary Darlene Edwards, and I am not the wicked grandmother of the West.
Right there. She got to clear it up. I am not the wicked grandmother of the West. She's here to clear her good name. And then she'll go on to do more stuff. But do y'all see that? The first thing is coming out of her mouth is what she's not. She has not offered nothing. The first thing need to be coming out of your mouth is, I'm so sorry about these big people who's been killed. I'm so sorry about that. Where's that?
I am the grandmother of Darrell Brooks Jr., and I asked to be here today for two reasons. First of all, from the bottom of my heart, I want to offer my sincere
I want to offer, not give, offer
apologies to those who have been hurt so badly by what has happened here.
She can't even say the word who've been hurt so badly. She can't even say the freaking word.
This
Killed. Those have been
that has been caused
unalive.
by my grandson. I want to also apologize to the family of the little boy. I understand their name is Sparks.
Look at that. Oh, that's so it doesn't even feel, it just,
And to all of those whose lives have been damaged by this overwhelming tragedy.
Look at this. You can tell that his grandma just been taking up for him since he was a kid. He ain't took no responsibility for himself at all. Looks familiar.
As a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ, I want to give the family.
There we go again with that I, me, my. See what I'm saying? Very selfish, very self-serving, all of them, from the mother to him and the grandmother. And we can see that it's been groomed there. I'm pretty sure she was that one and my grandson, and just like the mother and stuff like that. This goes through generations and stuff. And that's why he's there looking all smuck in the courtroom, because he really thinking that mama and them gonna get me off. Mama and grandma been getting me off this whole time. He think he gonna get away with this.
And those who've been hurt so badly, this scripture, blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. And I say this, please know that it's my prayer that my grandson sincerely and humbly apologize and ask all of you and God.
Tell the people you sorry now. Tell the people you're sorry now. You know, she been saying that since he was a little knucklehead getting away with stuff. Just tell the people you're sorry now.
Forgiveness for this horrible, terrible deed.
And he still didn't do it.
Some of you have said that you will never forgive him.
All right, listen up,
Please
y'all.
do not be like the man who drank the poison and
Wow.
hoped his enemy would die. Unforgiveness is a terrible disease, just like mental illness.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Y'all hear that? All right. So
truly, there have been many losses because of this tragedy. Daryl's mother has lost a son.
Again, she now is their loss. Their loss. Did y'all see that cheap ass little, offering that she gave for the victims? She couldn't even say what happened. And now it's all back on them again. What Daryl has lost, what they have lost. Not an ounce of true compassion for these victims.
Lost a grandson. Daryl's children have lost a father.
That he used to beat up on their mother.
And Daryl has lost his mind and his life in the outside world. Daryl's behavior, including his voice, should get the attention of the powers that be, both near and far.
Look at them blaming the government.
Daryl has suffered from bipolar since the age of 12. And it was that disorder that caused him.
Look at him looking like a spoiled brat.
Crowd. It is my prayer.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to kill those people. It's her fault.
That he will be treated for this illness and managed in a facility that addresses mental health concerns.
Look at how entitled. I mean, y'all, I'm hoping you guys are getting this. Hoping y'all